Everyone who goes to Venice has a story about Venice because she's so beautiful. The most extraordinary city in the world that has lasted so long and seen so much.
It is one of the great cities of the world, and it always has been. And that's why it has to be protected.
The first time I came to Venice, I came with my father, was a very little girl. I decided to make Venice the stage for the winter of my life, you know. I want to be able to be here and bring people and try to elevate the debate. I think people have to take Venice seriously.
We must understand that art is the biggest and most important asset we have. Art is also an excellent tool for achieving diversified and sustainable economic growth that leads to a common idea on saving Venice, on using Venice as a hub for new perspective in the sustainable growth.
Our mission is safeguarding heritage. So we want first to raise awareness about the importance of those places and would help communities to rebuild themselves around a common project, around their identity, around their history.
People don't realize what a wonderful job has been done. For example, there's the Scuola di San Rocco, where Monuments Fund restored 38 of its 55 paintings by Tintoretto, greatest masterpiece of the 16th century. And everybody goes there and says, oh gosh, this looks wonderful, you know, considering how old it is. Well, the reason why it looks so wonderful is the World Monuments Fund worked on it for years and years and years. It is still the most beautiful city in the world. What has changed, unfortunately, it's not as so agreeable as it was. You can see the water is now lapping against the brickwork of houses where it was never supposed to reach above the stone bases. As the sea level rises, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change predicts best case scenario, a rise about 17 inches by the end of this century. And the city just can't take it.
Climate change is a threat to all of us, is a threat to the planet, and it's of course a threat to heritage places all over the world. Buildings and built environment need to be protected, need to adapt to these new conditions.
I think what one realizes is that people respond to emergencies much more efficiently than they do to chronic situations. The hero of 1966 was Colonel James Gray. He came here and he said, we've got to do something. And the first one was the Scuola di San Giovanni Evangelista. The scuole were like sort of social clubs with a religious undertone. They were sort of the glue that held Venice society together. They have very beautiful headquarters. And this is a wonderful building of the 16th century, but it was falling into the canal. And as an engineer, he thought of a system of tanking underneath, which protected the walls from the water. So if he were alive today, which alas he isn't, he'd be fascinated by the problem of sea level rise and what it means for the buildings, and he'd be thinking, what can we do? I think that if Venice manages to come up with a scheme to protect itself, that can be shared all around the world. I think that it could be of great benefit to everybody because we're all facing the same problem.
WMF is very unique because we can take action rapidly, and our actions take many different shapes. We try to listen as much as we can to the local people, local stakeholders to see what they really need.
Cultural organizations must focus on creating sustainable and innovative models of growth. They must invest and seek private and public funding to support the creation of new jobs, to make Venice an attractive hub for new residents, new Venetians from all over the world.
Heritage is what was built generations ago, and it's alive. We need to get inspired, also maintain it, but also keeping it alive as a source of inspiration for people today and for future generations.
There's no place like this. The beauty strikes you at every corner, and yet you've seen it, and seen it again, and you just never get tired. I mean, this is so important to save this, you know, it's history. It teaches you everything. I don't think Venice will sink. I think Venice will stay.